Well, our last couple of videos, we explored the origins, according to Casey, of humans. Why am I sharing all this with you? Do I believe it? Yeah, I actually do believe it, and I'm going to tell you why. We are now coming into an era of disclosure, and I'm not talking about UFOs or some file in Washington. I'm talking right now about the actual origin of what you are, the essence of you, and what's going to happen because we're going into it. We're knowing that there's some truth to this. On what level? It's up to you to believe whatever you do is true. But today I'm going to talk about the next step. We talked about where we came from, what happened to the Lemurians, why they went down into the 3D, what happened to them after that. And now, what happens? I'm going to talk about the Hopi prophecy. And today I'm going to take that a step further and talk about the final days, according to Hopi. Now, this is not fear-based because I have, if you've been watching my videos, preparing you for the fact that nothing cataclysmic has to take place, that there are endless realities and we get to choose them. And the more I tell you that, the more you're going to realize that we can turn anything around and that the Hopi, like Casey and so many other prophets or psychics or whatever you want to call them, were giving us warnings and giving us messages along with the warning, you can change it. All right, so I'm going to share with you the 3 world wars that they claim, what that means, and it's going to make perfect sense, and it's going to hopefully put you in a frame of mind to start changing what's going on out there because we're going to see something real big happen this year. A few things really big happen this year. 2026 is going to blow your mind, but get ready. Put on your seatbelt. It's going to get even bigger. Let's go. Welcome to Landria on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears. Live an amazing life. What does that mean? Well, there's a thrill in winning. There's a thrill in gaining. There's a thrill in healing. That's humanity, right? We have to go down into something dark in order to overcome it. And that's what feels great. If you could win the race every time, it'd get boring. Did you ever see that episode on the Twilight Zone where, of course, a genie tells this loser who's a gambler, he's losing all his money, he's a drinker, he's a womanizer, and he said, I just want women to love me. I want to win all the time. Well, he got it. And of course, you probably know the end of this. He hated it. He couldn't stand women because there was no challenge in it. He couldn't stand winning because after a while, he knew he'd always win. The beauty of gambling was the fact that he could lose. Does this make sense? This is the mentality of the human. And I'm going to go today into the Hopi prophecies, the tail end of the Lemurian adventure that's going to take us into thousands of years of peace. You and I are in it right now. And I'm here to tell you that this is going to be amazing. Now, I wanted to know some details beyond what I've shared with you before. And so before we start, whatever you guys watch on YouTube, and you're telling me you're getting all this nasty stuff coming over, you have to be clicking on something for YouTube to think you like it. They're not just saying, hey, I'm just going to give you some garbage. So watch what you're putting in. If you're clicking on stuff that's negative, I know it's tempting. Shut it down and you won't get the garbage. You'll start getting higher frequency content. Hopefully that's why you're here, right? And then your world shifts. You completely shift and you affect everything out there. And this is where it starts, my friend. The media, the attention, everything you place your attention on is manifesting. All right, that's key. And Edgar Casey said it, the Hopi said it, and that is you hold amazing powers. Now, if you watch my video, Lemurians were the original humans that came here. They were actually not in physical form, and they were androgynous because they were best of both of us, right? And so every time we got into a lower frequency, we kept splitting off, fracturing ourselves in color and cultures and everything else, and then we fight about it. The furthest thing from oneness, well, we're going to go back into that, but there's some things that have to happen for that to take place. Now, I just want to remind you before I go into this, that You cannot build a new structure unless you blow up the old one and remove all the garbage, right? Here in Florida, they have to get rid of these buildings that are unstable. You don't build on top of them. That's what has to happen here. So much has to be dissolved and cleansed and cleaned out. The garbage has to come to the top to get cleaned out, and we're going to see it unlike any other time you've seen. We're going to see the old regime stepping down in many ways. So let's go into this, because what we're really talking about is the Hopi prophecy of the fourth world. We are in the fourth, going into a fifth world. The fifth world is harmonious. Edgar Cayce spoke of the fifth root race. They didn't know each other, right? Why is this coming up? Because we have had races destroyed, coming back, destroyed, coming back, and we are in number 4, probably the most destructive. And if we don't get our act together, yeah, we're going to be obliterated. Don't be afraid. We're already past that. We'd be obliterated so that a fifth could come in, maybe a clean slate of who knows what. Something like the Lemurians will come down and restart everything. Okay? You could say it's UFOs or aliens. I don't have those answers, but I do know we have been cleansed several times because we are destroying our planet and the oneness of the universe that requires us to get our act together. This is a teaching planet, right? You don't keep putting a student forward if they flunk. Traditional legends describe 3 previous global ages destroyed by fire, ice, and flood. We know about the flood thing, right? Human corruption and lack of spiritual balance. That's what caused that. When we finally start to put this together and say, we just didn't get wiped out, we did it. And when we realize we're doing it, we'll stop doing it, and then we will not have to go through what has happened in the past. So what did these races do, including the Lemurians, to cause this? Human corruption and lack of spiritual balance means technological advances. We're going to talk about that today. Technological advances, environmental degradation, and global conflict. And none of these ever have to happen. There's nothing wrong with technology. It's who's behind the helm. And these are specific signals. I'm going to go through each of these that the current era is ending. We're in it. Central to these beliefs is prophecy rock, which I'm going to show here. It illustrates 2 divergent life paths, one of material greed and one of ecological righteousness. We have to work with this planet. It's all about her. She's housing us here. She's our hostess. The Blue Star Kachina is a final celestial omen of transformation. And we've heard that. That's going to be a sign. Who knows exactly what that blue star is? People are guessing. It hasn't happened yet. Ultimately, what I'm going to share with you emphasizes that the coming apocalypse, it's not a total extinction. It's a purification to restore peace on earth. It's the cleansing. It is not the destruction of human beings. So I wanted to know, what do those 2 life paths on Prophecy Rock represent? It's pretty obvious, right? But there's a little bit more to it. So these are Hopi petroglyphs in northern Arizona. 2 parallel lines represent 2 distinct life paths, choices that humankind can follow at the end of the current fourth world. That's now. The upper line represents the path of the 2 hearts. This path is characterized by a lifestyle the Hopi called the world out of balance, and I'm not going to try and pronounce the word, or a life of moral corruption and turmoil. Boy, have we seen that. It is a life divorced from the natural world and ecological principles. You must look at yourself, your home, your consumption right now. Go in my description. I have all kinds of cool stuff that doesn't pollute our planet or your body. It has to be done. We're in it big time. It represents a path focused on a synthetic manufactured reality and technological gadgets. I just saw a fast food place showing kids getting all happy eating their fast food. And guess what? They got plastic toys now. Oh, wow. To celebrate a movie that's sponsoring it. And that movie is a Star Wars movie. I'm very disappointed. And this is what we are programmed to believe is good. And of course, kids see this stuff and they love it. What are you doing? What are you doing? God, we got to look here. destructive impact, the two hearts are described as wreaking havoc on the Earth Mother. Visual representation. This line features four figures with enjoined hands, the last of which appears to have two heads or hearts. It eventually ends in a zigzag that disappears into the air. Let's talk about the lower path, the true path of the one hearts. The lower line represents the path of the one hearts, those who adhere to the true Hopi way, known as Hopi Vatsquani. I think I got that right. Earth-based rhythms. It's rooted in a life close to the soil, focused on the growth of traditional crops like corn, beans, and squash. Somebody commented and said, "What would you do if your manufacturing plants shut down and your food was gone?" I said, We'd build crops. We'd fish. Yes, I would probably fish. I'd definitely be building crops. We'd pull our resources together and we'd start to unify because we'd have to. That's what the destruction is going to do. It's not the destruction of us, it's the unification of us. Spiritual sustenance. Solace is found through spiritual connection to nature, such as sunlight and rain in accordance with the Creator. Celebrate it, go out in it. You're getting red light. There's red light out there. It's called the sun. All right. No, it's going to harm me. We've been told so much crap. It isn't funny. Symbols. Oh, you know what this is? We haven't had this in a while. Actually, I think every video is this. Symbols of history and life. Resting on this line are three circles. I didn't know what these three circles represented. The three world shakings or world wars. I don't like that. To the right of these is a corn stalk and a Hopi man tending his crops. Do 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 kaboom. What is that? So everlasting life, this line extends across the rock and is said to represent everlasting life. We have nothing to fear. We're all going to go anyways, right? I mean, shocker. What? Yeah, so you are eternal. So don't worry. Just you don't want to go out in fear or not being one or giving, right? So that everlasting light is represented by the rising sun. It's oriented toward the point on the horizon where the sun rises during the summer solstice. Yeah, okay. The vertical connection. The rock also features a vertical line positioning perpendicularly between the two parallel lines. This represents the last chance for those on the upper path of the two hearts to descend and return to the true path of the one hearts. I don't like that they're saying descending. It's sort of confusing. Like, where are we supposed to ascend? Just, this is exactly what they mean. So I want to know what the three circles on the lower path meant. I really wanted, let's go into that. What does that mean? The three circles resting on the lower path represent three world shakings or world wars. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a military war. They appear from left to right on the line corresponding to the path of the one hearts. Okay. Those who remain close to the soil and adhere to the true Hopi way represents that everlasting life. And then the other is with the Hopi man and the cornstalk, returning to life in accordance with the Creator. And I said, but I want to know about those world wars. Tell me. So the three circles represent these three shakings that occurred during the final stages of the current fourth world. We're probably going to see it coming up here fairly soon. These events are not viewed as random accidents, but as a necessary purification process caused by humankind's disregard for earth and spiritual teachings. To me, it sounds like a earth thing more than a human thing. It's going to react to our damage that we've done. So get ready. We're going to have to pay for all the things we've done up to this point. If you don't make any changes, then that could be much worse than it has to be. So let's talk of the first and second world shakings. While the petroglyphs themselves are ancient, modern interpretations by Hopi elders, not just anybody, often link the first two circles to the major global conflicts of the 20th century. Okay, we already had two, right? Got a third one out there. The gourd of ashes, a pivotal sign associated with these periods, is the gourd of ashes falling from the sky, which elders interpret as atomic bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, as well as subsequent nuclear testing. Do you know we've had over 150 tests? Do you know that what that does to her? We're testing in oceans and this is insanity. insanity, as if it's not going to affect anything. That's the ignorance of those who do these things. Technological harbingers. Other signs fulfilled during this era include horseless wagons, we've already got that, traveling on black ribbons, cars on asphalt, and snakes of iron, railroads, spreading across the land. Okay, we're way past that. The third world shaking. The third circle represents the final global conflict that concludes the fourth world and ushers in the fifth world, an age of harmony and peace. It's coming. We have to go through this. You have to. You can't build muscles without pain and agony. And once you get through it, it's worth it. But so many people quit, right? They just don't want to. Oh, this hurts. It's uncomfortable. It's going to be, but you came here. Hang in there with me because we're going to do it. A spiritual conflict. This final war is described as a spiritual conflict fought with material means. It's characterized by global corruption, confusion among leaders, and wars that come about like powerful winds. We're right there. So when we talk about 2026, nobody ever said that year. We're going by the celestial lineups, the events that have happened in every area. It's all happening right now. The 9/11 connection. Some Hopi accounts suggest that a specific event, interpreted by some as the 9/11 attacks, would occur while America was sleeping, causing the country to wake up to a thunderous eruption of war. Okay, we can grab any event and say, oh, that's it, that's it. I don't think it's happened yet. Location of conflict. The prophecy indicates that these great wars and mass destruction will specifically manifest in the lands where the first light of wisdom originally appeared. Where's that? Where's that? Middle East? Egypt? I don't know. The third shaking leads directly to the day of purification. According to an elder, Hopi, these disasters, including earthquakes, flood, and famine, are intended to give the one hearts the strength to stand on their beliefs. Once the purification is complete, the true Pahana, the loss of the white brother, is expected to return to destroy the wicked and initiate a rebirth of the world. This sounds frightening, but it's really a spiritual thing. It's a frequency thing, okay? And that's all. Don't get all freaked out. How do Hopi prophecies link technology to the world's end is what I wanted to know. So the gourd of ashes, talking about, bombs falling, the 9 signs of destruction, transportation, communication, a giant spider web crisscrossing the land. We know that's power lines, the internet, communication infrastructure, aviation and space, roads in the heavens refer to airplane contrails and people living in the skies interpreted as the International Space Station. We're already there. The blue star, the final sign, is a dwelling place in the heavens that falls with a great crash. We keep talking about this. What is this? Appearing as a blue star, the Blue Star Kachina, signaling the immediate dawn of the fifth world. That's going to be the big one. People are saying, oh, it's this, it's that. I mean, this sounds big. This sounds way bigger than some comet. The path of the 2 hearts, loss of tradition and balance. Technology is seen as unseemingly allurement that erodes traditional Hopi values and language. Elders suggest that contemporary lifestyles characterized by technological gadgetry make it increasingly difficult to perform the sacred rituals necessary to keep the world in balance. And the prophecy indicates that when ruinous technologies begin to tear the fabric of the world, a tunnel or passage will appear to lead the one hearts into the next phase of Earth. I ask, what happens on that day? The immediate approach of this day is signaled by the blue Kachina. It's an alarm clock for the new world. It is prophesied that Naga Sohu is going to appear and take off his mask in the plaza, an act that signals all Hopi ceremonies will permanently cease. Is that a good thing or bad? I'm not really sure about that one. Internal change, the transformation is said to begin as fires that burn within us, which can lead to inner conflict for those who have forgotten original spiritual teachings, and others will know that we are something greater and going to that. A lot of you are. The global destruction, earthquakes, floods, tsunamis, famines, and erratic climate changes, we're in it. The fourth world is expected to end in a spiritual conflict fought with material means. Some accounts specifically describe this as a war that could destroy the United States. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll talk about that later. The end of evil. Humankind's evilness, corruption, and wicked ways are identified as the direct cause of these destructions. And the wicked will be destroyed during this process. It sounds really scary, right? If you have your frequency high, you will be fine. You're the one that's going to help repair. You're the one that's going to rebuild. You're the one that is not going to go into fear. You're the one who's going to see this as a necessary step to go into the fifth root race. Okay? The fifth race, you got to just get ready for it. Otherwise, you will be the one struggling in fear, hoarding, fighting. That's a way worse place to be, right? I guarantee you that if you hang in there, you know this and you know it's necessary, that this is the really dissolving. I don't use like the word destruction, dissolving of the ways that have not honored this perfect planet and oneness and Christ consciousness, as Edgar Cayce said, has been ushered in. It's a gradual thing. So these things are going to take place a step at a time. Get ready. There's going to be something big happening, something really big. And it's going to be with our government. So let's talk about the transition into the fifth, a new beginning. Here's the good part, guys, and I share this with you not to put fear in you, but to help you prepare for the fact that we're going to be tested, but not in a way that's so horrible, because when you go into your spiritual self, you know, your original Lemurian way, you're going to realize that we're one and it's beautiful and there's nothing to fear, and that you can actually change any reality. And that when we know this, everything's going to turn around, everything. So the transformation, there's going to be a total, rather than a total annihilation, the transition is viewed as a rebirth and a long era of harmony and regeneration. We're going into that. Okay, so all these things you see, I mean, could it get worse than this, right? We already have people that starve, and illnesses, and corruption and wars. How much worse could it get? And you'd say, well, we could annihilate ourselves. Well, I don't know if that would be worse, but it's not going to happen. We're going to have a rebirth. And that means those who are going in harmony and stop judging one another go back into that one balanced human that can do anything because it knows it can. You and I are the co-creators. Unity, survivors of the conflict. I don't want to sound scary, but survivors of the conflict will initiate a united world without racial or ideological divisions, living under one power, that of the Creator. Yes. Divine administration. Some interpretation suggests this fifth world will see a shift in planetary consciousness toward a divine administration based on unity and cooperation. Humans that will be in charge of unity only and speak for and organize that which speaks for all people. That's a beautiful future to look forward to. And we will see signs of that happening. That means that which is in separation, that is in destruction and corruption, must step aside in whatever way, shape, or form they do it. So hold tight. We have spiritual light beings. We have some major light beings in high up places, and they're stepping out more and more because now, well, it's tough to take out everybody. You can try, but eventually people will catch on and say, no more. We have to speak up. And there'll be those that aren't afraid of what the consequences are for speaking up, as we've seen. I believe the scientists that have disappeared are part of that. It's not that they're speaking up, it's that they have too much information. And so a lot of people are going to give that information and be protected because they're speaking up. But this disclosure and all these things you've seen, it doesn't matter. None of it matters. It's our behavior, our consumption, our thoughts, and our oneness. And if you're looking at all this stuff and blaming and getting into the arguments, those who appear to be protecting us are actually in many ways creating more conflict. I'm seeing that. I used to watch News Nation, and it was interesting for a while. And I only watch things about orbs and cool stuff. And now it's gone into this battle of whatever, the evil people and and I don't want to watch it. I'm not getting any information. Before there, we were learning about the Sphinx and the pyramids, and they were interviewing some really cool people. And now you have to step away from the madness. Fill your brain with whatever, and even that knowledge, we'll never know if any of it's true, but it's interesting and fun. Go into that which is creative. Go into that which is expansive and giving and loving. Start giving things away. Start selling stuff too. If you want to make some money, sell some stuff that is going to change people's lives and the planet for good. That's a better way to earn than doing something destructive. All right, and start giving your things away. I've got a huge bag sitting in my bedroom, and I keep more and more keeps going out. Somehow, I just don't seem to be missing any of it. Do you? So I've got another video that's going to come up after this, and we're going to talk about preparing for all of this in a positive way, not for preparing for the worst. It's preparing for the transition. And so we've got to get this all ready. So start working on that now. So I hope you enjoyed today, and I hope that it brought some comfort to you to know that we actually have control over those final results, how bad they could be or how good they can be, and that the disruption in all of the lower frequencies are necessary. They're doing it to themselves. You know, we don't want to do it to them. You don't have to do anything. They're going to go. Trust me. Their time is up. I call it the old guard. And sit back and send light and love to everyone, because you cannot go into unity unless you include them. Who's them? All of us, because I don't know about you. I have all kinds of things that I could change with myself, things that I'm learning about myself. No matter how advanced you think you are, there's always something we can work on. That's the whole point of being here. And let's take it up a big old notch. So go into the description. I've got all kinds of businesses that are doing amazing things. They're bothering to sell things to save your health, the planet, stop the toxins, not harming animals. I have a lot of coupons down there for you. And if you want some private coaching with me, I have a discount for that too. Yes, I do this for a living. Oh, making money and doing good things. Oh, my word, as my one friend would say, clutch my pearls. All right. So I hope you subscribe. Please share these videos, get it out there. Somebody might go, who is this person? I like this. I like that we are not going into destruction. We're going into choices. And the destruction is part of that, because the destruction of what we don't want is what we want. You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Oh, my friend. If you only knew, if you knew right now what is in here. And if you're going into any distress at all, ask yourself why. That's ego wanting things to be different. I want this, I don't want this. When you release it and you have acceptance, doesn't mean you're going to be comfortable all the time. When you accept it, you know there's something in there, there's a reason or something better. There's always something better for you. Always. I didn't get the job, I didn't get the relationship, I didn't get, because there's something better. Yes. Receive it. Yes. And give and love. I'll see you in the next video. Namaste.